And welcome to another live stream watch along reaction. Tonight we're reacting to Forge FC versus Tigres UANL 2026 CONCACAF Champions Cup. Round 1, leg 1. We begin with Forge. They got the first game of the whole tournament. Lovely. So, the only game we're doing today, live review, is Forge versus Tigres. Tomorrow we got both games, Xelajú, Monterrey, and Vancouver, Cruz Azul. More review Vancouver, Cruz Azul is the second game. But, yeah, there's 2 other games today, but don't care. Forge is playing. With that being said, got to focus on my team, at least in this case. With that being said, Forge FC contra Tigres UANL, la Copa Campeones de la CONCACAF. Primera ronda, partido ida. Here we are, and here we begin. The new Champions Cup. Here we go. The defending champions play tomorrow. The defending runners-up play 2 weeks from now. And everybody else, well, they play around that, don't they? Starting 11s are as follows for Forge FC. In goal, we have Dimitri Berthold. The back four, Rezart Rama, Daniel. We have Antoine Batiste, Marko Jevramovic. The midfield trio, Kyle Becker, Ben Patton, Mo Babuli. And the front three of Jose Masunda, Tristan Borges, and Ishmael Oketokun for Forge. For Tigres, in goal we have Nahuel Guzman, the back four of Jesus Garza, Juan Pablo Vigon, Juan Jose Parata. We have Vladimir Loroña, the midfield two, Romulo, Fernando Goldehan, the attacking midfield three, Diego Lainez, Juan Bruneta, Marcelo Flores, and Andre Pierre-Gignac up top. Oh, they're putting out their best 11. That's a... oh, boy. Oh, boy. Okay, we're good. We're good. All right. Yes, there's also the NFL Pro Bowl games today, but who gives a rat's ass about that? We got the Champions Cup. The first half's about to start of Forge Tigres. It's cold as hell in Hamilton right now. As you would expect, it's February. It's the first week of February. Of course it's cold as hell. But with that being said, we have our starting 11s. Flores starts in his home country. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I mean, Flores does play for Canada, or he wants to play for Canada, or is trying to play for Canada, but is it his home country? I don't know. If Forge loses, I want Marcelo Flores to beat the hell out of him, personally. Why? Because that makes him look good. If Forge loses just because they lose, then we have a problem. Not really, but you know. with that being said, we're about to get going. Forge FC v. Tigres. CONCACAF's about to begin. And then, of course, we have later today of games I'm not covering, but that do exist. CV Olympia versus America, San Diego FC versus Pumas. The first MLS team to step out this year is going to be San Diego FC. I wonder. They going to wear the jersey that they normally? Well, that is true. Are they going to leak their away kit next week? Like in-game? Possible. Because we all know Pumas, well, actually, no, Pumas' home kit's white. So it's Roman versus CM Punk, WrestleMania main event. Interesting. Yeah. I gotta say, I'm kind of shocked that's where they went with it. I hate that Punk's going to lose the world title to Roman, but if you remember what Roman said about the world title when Seth held it before WrestleMania 40, it makes sense. Roman said that he could make the world title mean something, that it meant nothing compared to him. So, is that a Spanish Spotify? What? Either way. Does Forge have a better chance tonight? Or do they have a chance tonight? Slight chance. I mean, I think there's a possibility that they could come out of this game winning it. Yes, Tigres put out their best 11, but it's cold as hell over there in Hamilton. Not snowy, not an ice sheet, just very cold on a turf field. A very open to the elements stadium in Tim Hortons Field. Forge, this is their first game of the year, but they have some good new signings that you're interested in seeing how they play. Tigres are shaky this year so far. They've had their good moments. They've had their bad moments. You don't know what you're going to get, even with their best 11. So, yeah, Forge is a chance. I don't know how good it is, but, you know. I don't know about that either, though. But we'll see what happens with the SmackDown Elimination Chamber. I feel like Roman Cody. I agree with that. But Drew has the belt. So Drew versus Roman, though, I mean, they kind of played that out when the Bloodline was around. But they haven't had those matches in what? Jesus, long time? But then you add Cody. He'll probably be part of a triple threat. You're probably right. Champs Cup is back. Teams are about to walk out. Forge wearing their orange, their new Hummel kits, which are pretty nice, I gotta say, home and away. And then Tigres are wearing their yellow. Well, actually, we're gonna find out. Drew won the WWE title on freaking New Year's or whatever. 3 Stages of Hell in Germany, like what, the first SmackDown of January? They actually put him over. I was happy about that, though. Tigres is wearing yellow. Well, fair enough. I mean, yellow versus orange does kind of seem like a clash, but whatever, it's fine. Teams are walking out, and the Champions Cup's about to begin, and you still see the CFL lines on the field at Tim Hortons Field. Wow. Here we go. 17 degrees Fahrenheit in Hamilton, 10 miles per hour, 79% humidity. It's not that cold from the looks of it. For Mexican players, 17 is cold. 17 degrees Fahrenheit is cold. Minus Celsius is cold. Canadian players, not so much. There's some African players on this team. Bertode came from DR Congo. Baptiste from France. Spain. Loki Takun. So, I was thinking about Bertode. But non-Canadian players. Where's the snow? There's no snow. True, but still. This cold. It's like, what, minus 10 Celsius? That's 17 degrees? Jesus Christ. I'm still not good at, you know, whatever. I'm still not good at converting Celsius to Fahrenheit and back. It is a math equation, and you know how bad I am at algebra and math. You know how bad I am at that, so that's par for the course. 10 degrees Celsius, 18 degrees Fahrenheit. Minus 10, it's okay, so it is correct. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not good at math, so that's my fault. It is an algebraic equation, and I'm very shit at algebra. So, thank you for clarifying that it is correct. Okay. That just seems so off. I certainly can't do it in my head. Starting 11, Bertode for Forge and goal. Jevramovic, Daniel, Batiste, the back three. Oh, they're going back three. Okay. Midfield four, Ben Patton, Kacker, Mo Babuli, Rezart Rama. And the front three of Jose Masunda, Tristan Borges, and Oketakun for Forge. I mean, that's what they get for going to Saudi. They knew that it was going to look bad. That's why they put the LEDs on the seats. And I think they may have started the show during a prayer period as well. Armando Villarreal's the center ref. Dude, you're from America and you're bundled up like that? Jesus, man. You must be from Texas. CPL has new number printing with their new logo. Sad. I miss the... whatever, it's fine. The Hummel kits look nice, though. Probably have to buy one. Wonder if you size them up like Macrons. I don't know. Either way, VAR referees. We do have VAR during this tournament. Thank the Lord. Chris Penso's the VAR referee. Okay, maybe scratch that. Thank the Lord. Scratch that. Oh, Lord. Tigres starting 11. I have Nawel in goal. The back four, Laronia, Parata, Zanre, Romulo, Garza. Brunetta, Gorehan, Vigon. And the front three of Flores, Gignac, Lainez. No. No Canadian friendlies are being hosted in Hamilton. No. The last time they played a game, Canada's national team played a game there was when they beat the USA during World Cup qualifying in January of 2022. That was a moment. Lovely. Either way. At least they aren't SEC refs. Hey! SEC refs aren't the problem. Should be talking about your Pac-10 refs and all that shit. Acting like freaking ACC refs don't exist. Pro is still worse. And Forge are off. We are off. 0-0, 0-0. Yep. We're officially back. I agree. How we doing? Yep. And this is the last full calendar year RSR season. Because I'm going to change the way I build a season of RSR when they flip the calendar. So here's what I'm going to do. This year is RSR 8. After the season finale in December, from January to the end of the Gold Cup next year, it'll be RSR 8.5. We will not start a full numbered season until there will be RSR 8.5 for the sprint season and the Gold Cup, because there will be a Gold Cup next summer. In August, when the next MLS full season starts, and they're talking to Nawel, something's wrong with the goal, is what Nawel is saying 1 minute in. 0-0. When the new full season starts in August of 27, that'll be RSR 9, and then that'll go to next summer tournament, the end of the next summer tournament. I'm going to end with the new fall to spring schedule. I will end the season on the end of a summer tournament before the next MLS season starts. Unless there isn't a summer tournament, but you know, whatever. Yep, it's sad to see. My two favorite wrestlers ended their careers within a month of each other. At least CM Punk's still around, and Sami Zayn is. 2 minutes in, 0-0. Yes, they will. We'll do as many Olympic hockey games as I can. Header cleared away. Forge shot. Forge, Tigres going forward. Forge had the ball at their end. I mean, Forge are good. I mean, form-wise, they're very consistent. They did not win the CPL final last year, but they won the CPL Shield. That's why they're here. They were the best team over a whole season last year. They did not perform in the playoffs. They were hitting a dip in form around the playoffs, which is the worst time to have it, which is rare for them, which is why Ottawa got to win the final. But I'd say top 2 best Canadian Premier League team of all time. And right now, I got to see where Ottawa or Calgary is, but top 2. Ottawa, we'll see if they keep going. If Ottawa does not keep pushing and Calgary is not up there, Forge is the best. But I'd say top 2 right now, because it's been a little bit of a tough moment for them recently, at least on CPL finals. But either way, no. I think they'll go to the end of the contract. Then we have a question to ask, which I still think there's like 3 or 4 years left on the contract. They made everything free. See, it would be, I think part of it is F1 kind of screwed MLS. F1 comes with Apple TV Plus. There is no special season pass for F1. So, and there are people like me who love both. I was not paying 2 season passes, which would have been sad. But they realized, hey, maybe if we have these sports, they still have MLB Friday Night Baseball. That was always free, or at least with Apple TV Plus. They still have MLS, which you just get through Apple TV Plus instead of an extra season pass, and then F1 the same. And you can also get access to F1 TV for the older races and all that through Apple TV Plus, which is awesome. I love that. So I think it's more the F1 deal. It kind of changed everything. Yes, there were cuts. I'm not saying there weren't, but Tigres playing forward, 0-0, 0-0. But yes, I don't think them taking away season pass and the cuts are the same, are two of the same reason. I think one thing is one thing and the other is another. But I don't think that means they're going to pull out of the deal either. But once Messi leaves things, they're either going to get lowballed to hell and back MLS if they stay on Apple. But then again, what could you do? You know, I mean, I know. Tubi's carrying this in the U.S. Oh, it's on Tubi. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that, but I don't like Tubi. I'm watching on TUDNA. I agree with that. I honestly agree. I think that was a mistake. I think that was stupid. Like, MLS is still a growing league, and guess who they got? Messi. Why do you have the extra paywall? And I think both parties figured that out. See, I think Apple were being greedy, and I think MLS were like, well, shit, if they're being greedy, I'm not going to complain. And then I think they learned for F1. I think MLS made them learn for F1. You don't do that shit. Because F1 is also a growing sport in North America. MLS is a growing sport in North America and outside the country. F1 is a growing sport in this country because of Drive to Survive and COVID, and everything played well for it. And Liberty Media, but just because Liberty bought it didn't mean it would do well. I think Drive to Survive and COVID really changed things. But either way, I think they learned why F1, why the paywall is gone, and why F1 is just on Apple TV Plus and always was, is because they learned, no, the extra paywall is dumb. And I said that shit was dumb from day one. Let's not forget. Not that I complained. I got my money's worth because I'm covering all these games. Leagues Cup, MLS, all that. I got my money's worth. I'm not complaining. But I mean, it just being $10 for Apple TV, great. No complaints. No complaints. And F1 part of it, free kick for Forge. No complaints. But I even said the Apple TV paywall, MLS Season Pass paywall, double paywall was stupid. And that shit's Fort Knox. Like, as I said, when it comes to Apple TV, you can now find a third-party stream for anything when it's on Apple TV. And I know that because of baseball. Because of a friend who's a Blue Jays fan tried to find him a stream one time. Couldn't do that shit. I wasn't giving him a password. It was never like that. Shit, I barely give anybody my phone number of my close friends and whatever. So, that's awesome. Point is, you got to be really close to me for me to give you my phone number or my freaking streaming apps. So whatever is my point. Either way. Sometimes I shoot you in the foot. Either way. My point being is, that shit's Fort Knox anyway. You have a double paywall. That's just dumb. I think that was a mistake. Thanks, guys, for the link to the game. Good luck. Apple's holding on till Messi leaves, probably. I agree. I'll be watching both. Off camera and on camera. I'll be watching both. 8 minutes in. Because they're games I don't stream. Grand Prix. If I'm watching a Grand Prix, I'm probably streaming it. But like, there are MLS games and Leagues Cup games I don't watch on camera. That's the joke. That's the joke. But even I watch enough on camera to get my money's worth anyway. Playing forward. Use a VPN. Thank you so much. Exactly. Yep. Or just use a VPN. On soccer in Canada. Tigres shot off target. Out of boots. 10 minutes in. Tigres, I mean, Forge ain't doing too badly. It's not as bad, and it hasn't gone off the rails as quickly as the Monterrey game did. They won the CPL Shield. They were the best team in the regular season of the CPL last year. So they won the Supporter Shield in the CPL. So to speak. They did not do well in the playoffs. They had their first ever non-finals exit, the CPL playoffs ever. Ottawa won the CPL final, which is why Ottawa's here. Vancouver FC is here because they got to the CanCham final, and the Vancouver Whitecaps are very good, and they qualified through MLS. So the CanCham winner went to Vancouver FC because Vancouver Whitecaps, I know, confusing, qualified through MLS. So there's 4 Canadian teams. Thank Vancouver for being good. Whitecaps, that is. Vancouver FC are garbage. I want Vancouver FC to fight. They will absolutely get their skulls ripped off tomorrow. I'll be wearing a black and white Canada jersey because they wear black and white. Cruz Azul is going to make Vancouver FC look horrible. You think they made the Whitecaps look horrible? They're about to make the Langley boys look even more horrible. It's going to be ugly. But they only beat Juarez 3-2, and Vancouver FC is worse than Juarez. They ain't going to luck into 2 goals. The Forge coach has been around for like 10 years. Bobby Smirniotis built Sigma FC Academy and then became the Forge coach from day one. So he's been around for longer, but notoriety-wise, yeah, I'd say about a decade, yeah. When Sigma started getting famous and then Forge was a thing, yeah, I'd say about notoriety-wise, yeah, about. Yeah. I remember hearing his name here or there a decade ago, yeah. It's not like when Forge became a thing, but yeah, I remember. Club Tigres is my life, says Roma. Well, welcome. Yep. No, Whitecaps qualified through the regular season table. Making the MLS Cup final doesn't qualify you to the Champions Cup unless you win the thing. No, Whitecaps qualified through being high enough on the Supporter Shield table, but I know that's confusing. Like, seriously, though. Like, we have enough MLS spots. Why not give the conference finalist in the regular or the postseason a CONCACAF spot? Like that. It's not the round of 16 spot, but it's something. I have always had a problem with that, but especially now when we have all these CONCACAF spots. Like, why doesn't the conference finalist get a CONCACAF spot? Like the playoff conference finalist get a CONCACAF spot. Now, they should be good enough normally to be in through the table. Or if you're a Canadian team, if you make the MLS Cup, you probably should have won the Voyageurs Cup. So it's that. But just in the case that doesn't happen, you know? Tigres have a brand new coach, so it's a good matchup. Guido Pisado's been the coach for like a year already. Oh, new? Come on now. Club America lost the last time played Olympia 5 years ago. Does that mean anything in Honduras tonight? Well, I mean, the way America's playing right now, it doesn't seem to me Jardine gives a crap anymore. It might mean something. And frankly, there's a player down for Tigres. It might mean something. But let's also be clear that these away games for either MLS or Mexican teams, I've seen some close shaves or upsets for that matter, especially when teams go to Central America. I don't care if they're MLS or Mexican. I've seen some close shaves. Like, that's kind of the thing about this tournament. Like, if you've been around long enough, you know somebody out of the MLS or Mexican teams are going to lose going to Central America or going away to a place they normally don't play. Like, this isn't Central America, but if Tigres lost in Hamilton the way Forge is playing, it's going to look ugly for a week, and you're going to get a lot of shit for a week, especially in the Mexican media, but, you know. Are you going to win the tie in the end when you go back home? Probably, but, you know, you're going to get a lot of shit for a week when you lose in Honduras or you lose to a lower team in Central America or a CPL team. Like Pumas. Well, Pumas gets shit for everything. Who am I kidding? Pumas might be a grande, but my lord. Pumas gets shit for everything. They might have a problem, is my point. Never said they didn't. It's hard to play on the road, is my point. But Mexican media acts like Mexico's shit don't stink. Which, I mean, they still barely have lost the Champions Cup, but it's a lot closer, especially with MLS. They've kind of stopped it with MLS. I remember the day where, like, remember when, like, Toronto, Seattle, and Red Bulls all won their first legs in Champions Cup in 2018 in, like, the quarterfinals? And they had, like, a cover of a magazine, newspaper, saying the biggest insult to Mexican football, and they were losing their shit. Like, remember when that happened? I laughed my ass off. One, because Toronto was part of it, and we won our game against Tigres. Second of all, because they lost their shit. It was the most hilarious thing ever. Cole's definitely an advantage for Forge. Esteli beat Real Salt Lake at Salt Lake. You mean Herediano, not Esteli. Like Herediano. It's weird Leagues Cup gets 3 spots, but not 2 spots for MLS Cup finalists. I could talk about it for hours. 16 minutes, 0-0, Forge. They've been playing pretty well, all things considered, considering who they're playing. That's out of boots. Nope. No, it is out of boots for a throw-in. Out of boots. Forge has never beaten a Liga MX team in Champions Cup. Well, there you go. Well, yeah. It's hard to do. Just erase Leagues Cup and give those 3 spots to MLS Conference finalists. Well, you're already getting an MLS Cup spot. Who else you going to give it to? Header. Shot! And that's going to be cleared out for a corner. Out of boots for a corner. I didn't see who it touched, but we'll take it. Tigres should still win, probably. Exactly. I'm just saying. It's kind of changed. How we doing, soccer guy? CCC starts tonight. What a miss. I'm doing good. I think Pumas is the better team slightly. I know Pumas, as I said, they take a lot of shit when they fail, but I don't know how good San Diego's going to be their sophomore year in MLS. So I think I give Pumas is building a solid side. That's out for a throw-in. They have Antuna, which he's probably Pumas level. But either way, I mean, and Carrasquilla is finally performing for Pumas, which it took a damn year. But he's good against MLS teams, except he's never played San Diego. Has he played San Diego before? Did they play in Leagues Cup last year? Game Out actually played him before. Either way. It's not a team he's used to playing, is my point. Playing Ford. Forge still has the ball, but it's cleared, and that's out of boots. Nope, still kept in by Tigres. Red Bull stole Jorge Rubalcaba. Yep. Yeah, Dillon would agree with you. I haven't even watched it. CONCACAF used to be so hard to watch back in the day because the Mexican teams would go up a goal and flop the whole game. I mean, that's just CONCACAF heritage. What are you talking about? I mean, nah. I mean, the games have actually gotten better, I will admit. I mean, it was just, a decade ago where that stuff used to happen? But I remember growing up and just watching CONCACAF Champions Cup games, and yeah, no, they've flopped the hell. They've flopped to hell and back. You don't really see that anymore, which I'm kind of glad, like, the games have become more open, but I kind of miss. I mean, I'm not going to lie, but then again, you have to agree or remember that there were times during those games they put out their second 11s because they were just so far ahead. And then they did that shit. It's CONCACAF heritage. It's part of well, it depends. I don't know. We'll see. Like, yeah, no, you're right. I mean, I never really thought of it like that. I mean, there's still times where it happens, but very much rarer compared to the olden days when it was still the Champions League and they had that giant hood ornament for a trophy. You know, the hood ornament flower football trophy or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. You know, yeah. It's not like it used to be. No, they do play more open football. But, I mean, weirdly enough, like, you just accepted it because that was CONCACAF. Like, that was part of being CONCACAF. You just sat there. You were like, okay, yeah. You just got CONCACAF. Like, that's all it was. And it was way worse back in the day, yep. Shout out to Fence Force FC, more Champs Cup than Tigres and Forge. Yeah, and you won those like back in the 70s and 80s. I mean, yeah, Tigres, some would call them an equipo chico. Some would call them an equipo chico. Not me, but some would call them an equipo chico. But at least their Champions Cup was a bubble. Weirdly enough, you don't hear anybody shitting on them for that. Probably because they made the Club World Cup final right after it. Like, if they didn't play Bayern Munich, if they didn't make the Club World Cup final after winning that Champions Cup or Champions League at the time, oh no, you'd hear bubble Mickey Mouse Champions League all the time. And still you would hear, yeah, they still call them Equipo Chico. Maybe that's just the way they call it, a bubble Champions League. Like, in theory, you know, but either way. I don't think, see, yeah, I hate when Europeans do that. I mean, I live in CONCACAF, so of course I cover it more. I get that. But free kick for Forge. But I think CONCACAF, you got to be so much more adept to your surroundings to playing CONCACAF. Like, it's not easy. You know, it's not like, and like, even playing in Mexico isn't as bad as playing in Costa Rica at times. You know, like the most you're going to see a team like Scotland do is go to Canada or the U.S. or Mexico, whether it's a World Cup or a friendly. They're not playing in Costa Rica. Like, yeah, Mexico has the altitude and all that, but it's the Azteca, you know. I don't know. You're not going to Honduras playing a big rivalry game getting piss bags thrown at you, you know? Or you're not getting hacked to hell and back on a shitty field that's like overgrown because they know they're probably the underdog, but they're playing in their own stadium, so they're going to overgrow the field. Honduras. And just make sure there's that little advantage towards them. But, you know, they play the most physical game. Well, that's true, but that's not exactly. Is that CONCACAF shenanigans, or is that just the atmosphere, you know? Like, I'd rather be gasping for air at the Azteca than get piss bags thrown at me. But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. You might get both, but piss bags is more of a Central America thing, from what I can tell, from what I've noticed. Now, I didn't say Mexico didn't do it. I know MLS don't do it. They might just drag you into a gulag. Don Garber might just drag you to a gulag if you do. I'm not saying you should throw a piss bag, but, you know. If you threw a piss bag in MLS, Don Garber might just throw you to a gulag. I didn't say unrightfully so. I mean, you probably shouldn't be throwing piss bags. Yeah, piss might be sterile, but that is disgusting. That is disgusting. South America's the hardest? Well, I don't disagree. Argentina, Brazil. I agree. I'd say MLS and Liga MX are better than most European professional leagues. I'd say they're better in France. Overall. Like, stop acting like MLS and Liga MX. Stop that shit, man. Like, I'm tired of it. You know, it's MLS, Liga MX are very good leagues. They're probably at least top 10 leagues, if not top 6, top 7 leagues. Stop acting like they're not. Any given Sunday, stop acting like they're not. Stop acting like they're not. Well, yeah, that's true. But I think Central America and Mexico do the same shit. 26 minute. And don't drink the water. You might get the bubble guts. Ask Vancouver and Columbus. Throw in. Especially when a final's coming round. Makes you wonder how the hell they get away with it during the regular rounds and then the final comes around. Marcelo Flores. It makes you wonder. Don't drink the water. Let me tell you, if I was coaching an MLS team, I'm going to tell you one thing. If we're playing Champions Cup in Mexico or anywhere outside of Canada or the U.S., how we doing, William? While we're down there, we're eating MREs the whole fucking time. I don't care what round it is. If we're in Champions Cup, you're going to eat 5 weeks worth of MREs. You want to complain? Complain. Bottled water and 5 weeks worth of MREs. Maybe 4 if we're only around a 16 team. Because, 4 away games. 3 or 4 away games, depending on how good we are in the standings. Either way, corner. Okay, maybe 3. 3 or 4. Either way. You're getting at least 3 or 4 away games, depending on where you start. Then the final might be an away game because you might not be as good on the standings. Either way. Then it depends on where you get drawn. But either way. Thoughts on James to Minnesota United? I think it's more of him trying to get to the World Cup. Like it's a short-term loan. But for those 6 months before the World Cup, oh my God, Minnesota's got a guy. They might. Like it sucks because they play Haram ball, but Nawel's injured. But, dude, James Rodriguez might change them for, 6 months. They might be one of the most watched, most interesting teams in MLS. And they were no playing Haram ball last year, as long as Ramsey was there. I'm interested. 0-0, settle. So, it's interesting, but... So it is what it is. But I like it. I think it's a good move overall. But James Rodriguez going to Minnesota is a good move. But the sad part is he's only there for 6 months. You would think they'd probably keep him if he does that well. Forge has more expected goals than Tigres. What the hell? I don't know if anybody cares about that, but... Forge has 0.07 expected goals. Tigres has 0.05. Even though we're being outpossessed, 28-72? That's what Thought Mob said. Don't get mad at me. I don't know where else you could find expected goals. So, yeah, Thought Mob is... Forge had a really good chance at the beginning there. Overall, of course, Forge are going to be outpossessed. But other than that, I'm pretty damn happy with the performance so far. They haven't given up an away goal yet. They're playing tough defensively. They've had their chances going forward. Tigres haven't looked too special, all things considered. They haven't made them look like leagues away from each other. Cross in, cleared away. 30 minutes in. Out of boots. Cleared out of boots. Throw in for Tigres. Premier League. Number 1 Premier League, 2 La Liga, 3 Brazilian League, 4 Serie A, 5 Bundesliga, 6 Saudi Pro League, 7 Liga MX, 8 MLS, 9 Portuguese, 10 Eredivisie. I'd say you're about right there. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. I have no disagreements. I think Liga MX and MLS are better than the Saudi Pro League, but, well, Dillon's not here. He won't. I think you could flip them around, but other than that, yeah, I won't disagree. I won't disagree. I won't disagree. I won't disagree. 31st minute. English Championships, probably the top 10 if you want to include that. I think he was going with first divisions, but you're not wrong. Like, the English Championship is probably the best non-first division league. In the world. Like, the English Championship, yeah, probably is in there as well. I'm glad MLS is switching to a full table, getting rid of conferences. No, they're not. They're going to start using divisions in the new schedule. That means there's still going to be conferences. I didn't see, unless I'm mistaken, it don't sound like they're going to a full table. And because you have divisions, even if you had a full table, you still have divisions. Which negates the point of a full table because you're going to have to give division champions playoff spots. And then at-large spots through then it gets as confusing as the college football playoff. No. It's only PSG. Marseille lost 3-0 to Bruja. Playing forward is Tigres. Tigres shot. Past the post. Out of boots. Out of boots for a goal kick. Brunetta puts it wide. I think Liga MX and MLS overall are better than Liga. It's only PSG. Marseille acts like they're worth a shit. They didn't even make the top 24 of the Champions League. They sold out all their morals just to get all these players that might be ballers but have very bad morals. And they still couldn't make it to the top 24 of the Champions League. Thank you, Jose Mourinho. Awesome. Wonderful. Thank you, Jose Mourinho. Every team plays every team. Well, yeah, every team, it sounds like, yes, every team's going to play each other. Thank the Lord. But there's still... But it's not like the full table decides playoff spots. And because you have divisions, you still have conferences. There's still going to be an Eastern playoffs and a Western playoff. Shot! Save! What a save by Bertode for a corner. Okay, maybe Colalot wouldn't have made that save. Either way. It's football heritage. Monaco was only good once. At least in my lifetime. Stade Rennais. I mean, they're thereabouts. Lyon, okay, fair. What about Strasbourg then? Like, you could throw them all out there, but, like, what about Strasbourg then? Strasbourg is number one in the Conference League, just like their bigger brothers Chelsea were last year. Even with getting rid of Rossinier, they haven't played a Conference League game since Rossinier got pulled. Well, that is true. Either way. It is 0-0, 35th minute. Goal kick, Laronia recovers. Forge throw in. I'm going by the play-by-play. For now. Exactly. Hey, PSG finally got their shit together and won the Champions League. Wow, how we doing, Rory? Finally got their shit together and won the Champions League. Well, Linez with the ball. 0-0, 36th minute. There we go. 0-0. That's odd. The MLS will have an East and West MLS bracket. Hurts and Texas teams will be in a division with Eastern teams. They don't even, like, well, it depends on, like, which Eastern teams. Like, Nashville makes sense. Like, yeah, there are some divisions where there will be crossover between current Eastern and Western teams. I'm not even, frankly, we don't know what the hell's going on. We've seen the league divisions. We don't know what the hell that means. I don't know what the hell that means. Okay? I just know there are divisions. Like, Toronto's in the Northeast Division. But in MLS Next Pro, I'm going by what I see and I'm extrapolating from what I know from the lower level, because MLS Next Pro has divisions, but there's still a Western Conference and an Eastern Conference. I'm going with the most obvious answer. Now, they could make this absolutely a clusterfuck. Like, at the level of the CFP, you know? Like, MLS could make this new schedule with divisions a total clusterfuck like the college football playoff is. Like, there's obvious answers, there's dumb answers, and then there's clusterfucks. I use the college football playoff as an analogy. The top 12, 5 conference champions got an automatic bid, and then freaking what? 6, 7 at large, when it really shouldn't be that way, and Notre Dame got screwed because of it. And freaking Miami made the tournament, but they made the final. Miami deserved to be there. I never said they didn't. Point is, I'm saying that MLS, possibly they could choose to have an absolute clusterfuck format with the new conferences or the new divisions. I hope not. I'm going with the obvious answer. They might go complete cluster, which I know that's what I said. It should just be the top 12. It's a cluster because it's the top 5 conference champions and 7 at-large bids. It is a cluster. And then now, as long as Notre Dame's in the top 12, they will make the tournament. They've changed that rule, which I'm not complaining. I'm fine with that. You know, I have a soft spot for Notre Dame. I'm fine with Notre Dame getting some help. I'm not complaining about it, but 39th minute. If Notre Dame's top 12, they get in no matter what. Cross in. Punched away. Frankly, that's the way it should be, though. But I have no problem with it legitimately, even though I have a soft spot for them and I have a reason to root for them. Same thing as the Steelers. I have no problem with it because the top 12 in the CPL or the CFP rankings should be the teams in the CFP. Forget the conference champions. Like, look at the fact the ACC wasn't good enough to make a conference champion into the college football playoff. Blocked away for a corner. Like, yes, Miami made it, but they made it as an at-large. The ACC is garbage, is my point. And that made sure there were 2 Group of 5 champions. James Madison and Tulane, which we saw how bad that turned out. If the Big 5 conferences don't deserve to have a conference champion in there, they shouldn't have it. But I'm also biased to the SEC, so hey, if we got 6 SEC teams in because it was the top 12, you know, I'm not complaining. Either way. Playing forward. Either way, I'm saying it's a cluster. What a save. That was awesome. Because Notre Dame's Notre Dame. Because Notre Dame crashed out and didn't even play a bowl game because they didn't make the college football playoff, which they got screwed. They were ahead of Miami the whole time. at least when it came to college football playoff polls. So I understand why they did, but it's Notre Dame. Notre Dame gets special treatment. 41st minute, 0-0. Yeah, that save was amazing. I mean, shot over the bar. That'll be a goal kick. Brunetta puts it over the bar. Okay, Forge got lucky there. I'm not slandering JMU. They never had a chance to win a damn thing. And if I'm slandering JMU, I'm slandering Tulane too. Here's a chance, and that's blocked away, cleared by Tigres. Like, I have no problems with JMU. I love what Kurt Signetti did with JMU before he went to Indiana. I love what Bob Chesney kept doing after Signetti left. I'm happy Tulane is a big program. I'm happy for New Orleans. They deserve that. But they never were going to win a thing. The G5 teams, if you're not top, here's the principle for me. G5 teams are not going to win the playoff, even if they are top 12. Unless they're like top 6. But I would rather see a straight up 1-12 CFP or 1-16 if they go to 16 teams. Like JMU and Tulane getting in just because they were one of the top 5 conference champions. You ain't winning nothing if you're ranked 20, but you get in because you won the conference. And the ACC was shit. That's all I'm saying. Now, if you're top 12 because you're a BCS buster, G5 school, all right, fine by me. I'm not saying you're winning anything, but maybe you'll at least win a round. JMU circumstantially and Tulane were in a bad situation they never were going to win from, even the first round. Then you give them Oregon and Ole Miss. Okay. Ball crossed in. Header. Hell, Boise State. They were a BCS buster level G5 team last year with Janty. And they still didn't win a thing. Shot. Saved. So do with that what you will. What a save. Bassett's going to be perfect for Portland's play style. I agree. Fair enough. But if they're good enough, they'll get top 12. Do you not remember the BCS busters? Shot. Punched over the bar by Bertaud, and that's another corner. Forge is under a little bit of a shelling here, and they're still holding on. I agree. Bertaud might be the player of the game right now, man of the match right now. I agree. I think the SEC and Big Ten might take care of that in the next 10 to 20 years. Ball crossed in, headed away. Like, I think there's a very good shot within the next 10 to 20 years that the Big Ten and SEC become their own super league, like merge and become their own super league. And then everybody else, Big 12, ACC, Pac-12, Mountain West, they're their own level. And then you still have the FCS. I think it's coming, especially if NIL is not checked. I think we're at a point where it's probably going to be. We're probably going to see the Big Ten and SEC like merge and have their own national championship and everything. Yeah, I said he's the man of the match. Oh, well, good for them. It's not like it was the old Pac-12. Tigres is not even good anymore. Maybe I expected a little more from Forge. I mean, I thought Forge had a chance. Chipped, saved by Nawell, and oh my word, that could have been the moment for Forge, but not good positioning. Damn it. Cleared by Forge. Gets all the way back to Nawell. He gets out of his box. 2 minutes of stoppage time. Mexico's playing Iceland in February? What the shit? I mean, I knew they were doing all these different camps and stuff, but Jesus. February. That feels weird. Playing forward. Nawell gets the ball and clears it. Here comes Forge. Jose Masunda. Masunda. All alone, Patton. Patton plays it back to Becker. Patton. Cross. Header. Nobody's there, and Nawell gets on it. 47th minute. Yeah, I agree with that. NCAA has no teeth anymore. That's the problem. Liga MX is a mess. Pausing this league to have these games as local league player. I mean, hey, at least they're taking a home World Cup seriously, even if it's a mess. 47th minute. And it's halftime, and Forge survives the first 45 minutes tied, but frankly, they might be, I don't know. They're playing solidly, that's all I'll say. Tigres is not out playing them very much recently right now. Solid first half for Forge. Tigres, I expected better. Even though I thought Forge had a chance, I expected better out of Tigres. I won't lie. I mean, I expected better, and I haven't seen it yet. It's weird. With that being said, I wouldn't see a 0-0 that bad. Ideally, you want to win, but not conceding away goals in a goal of Volcan will force Tigres to win on aggregate. Yeah, but if you don't allow any goals in Hamilton, Forge could get an away goal and it's 1-1. If you're Forge, if you get a 0-0, no way. That's got to be a lie. No way. Cristiano could return to Manchester United. There's no way. There's no way. Like, I mean, Forge could win on away goals if this stays 0-0. Well, I mean, it's probably Josh Sargent. AKA, I don't know, call the Pirate. Then again, it probably wouldn't be the Pirates' job to sign a striker or hit the phones. But with that being said, yeah, that's not good. At least we're scoring in the friendlies. There won't be one if you call the Pirate, but if you call the Pirate, TFC is going to be like the Jays and Patriots. From shit to really good out of nowhere. Warriors, come out and play. Trinidad U17 lost to Barbados. Yeah, that's impossible. I'm shocked, honestly. I'm shocked, honestly. Pretty much, but hopefully Forge scores. I agree, especially some of these new players. Once they start gelling in, I think things are going to look really good for Forge. They want to get some revenge, at least in the CPL. But once these players start gelling together, I like what I'm seeing. I see some early signs of something good here with Ola Katoon or Oketakun. There we go. Batiste, Bertode. I like what I'm seeing. I don't know. We need to test it. I don't know if it works. We need to test it. If it works, then $700 plus shipping. I think that's what it was. Either way. So Flamengo bought Lucas Paquetá $50 million, and Merlo just announced Palmeiras to get John Arias from Wolves for $30 million. Yeah, get out of that sinking ship. Yep, I don't disagree. As they should. The Brazilian league is too OP. It's hilarious. That's what it is. Man City draw to Tottenham's hilarious, and they probably just handed Arsenal the league. Not that I'm complaining about it, but you know. Part of me wants to see people crash out about freaking Tottenham winning or Arsenal winning the league. With that being said, we'll take a short break at the half. Talk about the stats, get this one going. Sit tight, be back. 0-0. Settle a settle. Forge aren't doing too badly. Let's see if they could get a win instead of a draw. But crawl before you walk. Either way, sit tight, be back. And we're back. We're back for the stats of the half. Here we are. Yeah, I would agree with that. With that being said, stats of the half. 28% possession to 72% possession. 3 shots to 8. 0 shots on goal to 4. Okay, the expected goals have flipped to Tigres after that little run at the half. We have Chelu Monterrey tomorrow, Vancouver FC, Cruz Azul tomorrow. We're live for both. We review Vancouver, Cruz Azul once it's over. Once they're both over, but either way. Yeah, it started to flip. There we go. 83 accurate pass, 269, 71% pass accuracy to 89% pass accuracy. 6 fouls to 8, 1 corner to 7, 3 shots to 8, 0 shots on goal to 4. We have 117 passes to 303, 71% pass accuracy to 89, 11 throws to 4, 0 offside to 0, 0 red cards, 0 red cards, 0 yellows to 0, 0 red cards to 0. 0-0. 0-0 at the half. 0-0 meal at tiempo. I think Forge they've been solid. Tigres had a little bit of a run at the end of the first half, getting some better chances, but Berthold has kept Forge in it, made some really big saves that maybe Kolalot wouldn't have made, or Tristan Henry wouldn't have made. Yeah, so far. Forge is playing better this time. I would say they finish above Toronto. Probably. I trust Forge to get more results than I do Toronto right now. Now, I think Forge is a better built squad. They probably still be like 12th in the East, but, I still expect them to finish above Toronto. The way their squad's built, the way they actually go for results. Probably not the playoffs. They've had good moments during the Can Champ playing MLS sides. Top 12. Top 12 of the conference. I'm going to be real about that. Now, if they called the Pirate, we'd have a different answer, but they haven't done that. So, dumbly enough, maybe. So it is what it is. Second half about to start. I think Forge are playing solidly. Tigres are very much struggling. Where does this go? Does Forge do better, or does that little run by Tigres at the end of the half there show you where this game is going? We'll find out, but I'm very interested to see where this goes. 45 more minutes to play, and then we'll review this game, and there'll be 2 other games today being played, but we're focusing on Forge versus Tigres. So as I'm reviewing, there will be the second game, and first half at least, and then there you go. Here we go. That is true. We are doing better when it comes to scoring goals in the preseason friendlies this year. We are scoring against Korean teams and beating Korean teams. I guess that's better than nothing. Wasn't it that Corbianu free kick? I swore we scored more last year. Corbianu. Richie goal was beautiful. Go Forge. Hate watching Tigres lose. You hate watching to see Tigres lose? Hey, just welcome aboard the bandwagon then. Here we go. 2 substitutions. Isiah Herrera and Ivan coming on for Tigres. Isiah and Ivan coming on for Tigres. Ivan coming on for Gignac. And Isiah coming on for Lainez. Would love to see Tigres lose. Okay. Got it. And we're off in the second half. Forge solid the first half. Tigres have shown that they have more quality at times. Forge has made sure that didn't bite them in the ass. But Forge has had a solid game overall. I would sit here and say, yeah, you know what? That's been pretty solid, all things considered. That's out for a throw-in. Out of bits for a Forge throw-in. Ozzy will come back from injury. He will not play hard. Well, I mean, yeah, it's cold as hell up there, and you're probably right. Maybe that was helpful. I don't know. Marcelo Flores is still playing. Brunetta's still playing. Gignac hasn't really had that many shots to really be like, yeah, he might be washed. I don't know. Playing forward. Pushing and pressing Forge are. Now clears it away. Over the top. Headed away to Forge. Nice second ball clearance. And just get the ball away. Just get it away. Just get it away. That was not good. Ivan crosses in. Shot blocked away and out for a corner. 47th minute. Second half starting like the first half ended so far. Brunetta played it into Ivan. Cross in. Oh, that's a horrible cross. That's a horrible corner. At least he didn't put it out of bits. Good press by Forge. That's offside or a foul. They're pissed off. Yellow card for Oketakun. Okay. Fair enough. Free kick for Tigres. Playing forward. Flores. Marcelo Flores. In through. Shot save. Oh my. And he almost spilled it too, but it got cleared. Berthold spilled it, but it got cleared. Holy mackerel. I don't know about that. Probably not. I'd like to see it. Just, dude, they have problems beating Liga MX teams. Like, where does Atletico Nacional sit? It was Atletico Nacional, right? Either way. Like, where do they sit? Are they better than a Mexican team? Are they worse? Are they better than a CPL or a CONCACAF Central American team? Like, where do they sit? Like, you got to tell me. I don't think the Colombian League, at least the bigger teams, are worse, or at least that much worse than a Mexican team. And I guarantee you they're not as bad, or they're not at a level of a Central American team. They're better than them. At least as good as Olympia, and well, we saw what happened like 6 years ago in that case. Seven? Well, yeah, 19, 20. 6 years ago? Seven years ago. Shot save by Berthold. You got to see where we would put them. Forge keepers saving their ass, I agree. Do you have to score the America Olympia game? It hasn't started yet. That starts at 8 o'clock Central, so it hasn't started yet. So still 0-0. Still 0-0. Because it hasn't started yet. It's just Marcelo Flores, and that's it. Playing forward. These are staggered. Who's this keeper, bro? Berthold is from DR Congo. He's 27 years old. Played for Montpellier. 49 games from 2017 to 2025. He was a free agent for 6 months. He just signed for Forge. He played for Montpellier main team. Playing forward. Shot! Save! Out of boots! For a corner. Montpellier B for 65 games. Solid. 11 goals conceded, Ligue 1, the last full season he played. 360 minutes played. About a goal, whatever. 10 minutes? No? Saved. Corner. Ford shoots better than Tigres. He's a solid player. Played for the France youth teams. Another corner for Forge. Ball crossed in. Header wide. Crossed. Blocked out for another corner. Out of boots. Corner for Forge. Borges gets the ball. Okay, that was just bad. Cleared away. Forge has it. Cleared. Back to Forge. Borges. Ball crossed in. Header brought down. Shot wide. Corner. Forge has had their moments recently. Masunda gets a shot, but it's put out for a corner. Can we score off this little run here? This reminds me of the Monterey game where they had like those 5 chances early and then it just went completely south after that. Choose a marble. 53rd minute, ball crossed in. Header. Rezart Rama cleared away. Shot. Saved by Nawel. Okay. Playing forward. Oh, no. He ran right into him. Why are you playing FIFA Mobile? Feels like me playing FIFA Mobile running straight into somebody's defender. At least it was right into him instead of like, oh, his tackle was like 3 feet away or whatever. And he hoovered that ball up like a damn vacuum cleaner. Playing forward. .53rd minute. Dude, the CONCACAF Champions Cup matters more than a freaking flag football Pro Bowl. All right? Nobody gives a shit. Dude, nobody's cared about the Pro Bowl shit since they moved it to the week before the Super Bowl. Like, the last time the Pro Bowl was ever actually a real football game was when Sean Taylor laid out that damn punter. Rest in peace to Sean Taylor, by the way. Legend. That was the last real hit the Pro Bowl ever saw. Was Sean Taylor laying out that punter. Mormon, I think, wasn't it? Shot saved. Of course I am. Of course I am. And we'll see who I pick as my prediction. But yes, of course, I'm rooting for the Patriots. And I said this before on one of my close friends' stories, but I'll admit it. I won't be crying on camera. Well, I don't know. But either way, it's more likely for the first time ever that there's more likely if there's ever tears shed on the Super Bowl, it's going to be because the Patriots won instead of lost. If they lost, it's like, yeah, that was an amazing season. Didn't expect this at all. Now, of course, there's a possibility they get screwed over and I'm angry if they lose, and there's a possibility of that. But like tears of pain, no. Tears of joy, if they win the Super Bowl, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Unless it's like one of those last second Malcolm Butler picked at the goal line type things, you know. But if it's like they kneel that damn thing out, you know it's coming. Shit, I almost cried when they won the AFC Championship. Like, I started to tear up a little bit there, so. I'm surprised they're back this quickly is the point, you know. And now that you don't expect them to win, it's fun to watch them win, you know. It's fun to watch them win. Drake May. It should be Drake May. Biased, of course, but no, it should be Drake May. Drake May took a squad of nobodies and Stephon Diggs to a Super Bowl. I don't care how easy the schedule was, they still won their games and dominated the most of them. All right? Took a squad of nobodies to a Super Bowl. It's Drake May. Matthew Stafford still had Puka. He still had Devontae Adams. He still had Blake Corum. Still had Kyron Williams. He still had a squad. The Patriots didn't have one. Besides Stephon Diggs. You know? So, no, it's Drake May. Like, most valuable player, it's Drake May. Drake May did more with less. Which, if Josh Allen won the MVP for that same reason a year ago, Drake May should win it that way. Shot, save. For the same reason this year. Drake May. And I'm off on Thursday, so maybe I will be watching NFL Honors on my own. Agreed. He's on Twitch. That's the problem. Well, the NFL has sort of actually respected the Patriots this year, unlike the old times. He went down himself. That ain't a penalty. Played forward. Ford is closer to scoring than Tigres. Mike Vrabel's had a great first year. I agree. And by the way, Vrabel, you know what? I'm a little bit more fair about this, but I think Mike Vrabel should win Coach of the Year. But if Mike McDonald won Coach of the Year for Seattle, because they're both finalists, if Mike McDaniel, Seahawks head coach. If the Seahawks head coach won Coach of the Year, I'm not going to complain as much if Matthew Stafford won MVP. Vrabel should still win Coach of the Year, though. I think Drake May should win MVP. Vrabel should win Coach of the Year. That may be biased, but it's not out of the, dude, you're crazy biased. It's like, yeah, they're a finalist and they should be there, but you're probably saying that because they're Patriots, but they're right there. They do deserve it, but you're still saying that because they're Patriots. But, you know, and you grew up watching Vrabel play for the Patriots, and now he's the coach. And Drake May is Drake May, and he got him to a Super Bowl, and, you know, worst case, you know. I mean, yeah, Stafford had a good season on the numbers. I don't think he's the MVP. He did what he was supposed to do with the players he had. What's MVP about that? So he had the numbers he was supposed to have. Like, what's MVP about that? Drake May went to a Super Bowl with a bunch of nobodies and Stephon Diggs. That's MVP to me. Well, I'm glad. Yes, but Drake May had a very good regular season. It's the playoffs that, if they were voting during the playoffs, would probably hurt his MVP case. Because he played 3 cold weather games and it was snowing during 2. Good thing it is a regular season award. Huh, 3 subs for Forge. Aromatario on for Babuli. Tigres makes a sub. Correa, 60th minute. As he should get booed. Brian Wright is on as well for Forge. It was Correa that came on. That might be a bit tough. Brian Wright is on. Jesus Garza off for Angel Correa. Brian Wright is on for Okedekun. So 2 subs for Forge. Correa's on as well. So Tigres has 2 subs left with 1 window. Forge has 3 subs left with 2. Becker playing for. Oh, bad pass. Bad pass. Good clearance. Flores is washed. See, that's why I didn't want him on Canada. Dude has not been the guy. Like, he realized that he ain't that wonder kid, and Mexico hasn't either. Or they've realized he isn't either. They don't call him up. Now he picks Canada, because what else can he do? Free kick for Tigres off the handball, 62nd minute. Hey, I was the one saying I don't know if I want him anymore. I wasn't hyping up Flores. Everybody else was. I was hyping him up back in 2021. Not now. I called it like I seen it. Like, now I'm calling it like I see it. The dude is not the guy we thought he was, and that's why Canada is going to get him. Like, yeah, he's had his moments with Tigres at times. Like that brace early in the season, blocked away. But it's not like he does that every week. Like, if he's as good as they say he is, he should be doing that every week at Liga MX, whether they sell him or not. He doesn't. And he should definitely do that against Forge. No disrespect. But it's true. Yeah. You said Eli Manning got booed at a Bruins game. They should boo him in a Boston Bruins game. If there's anywhere that would boo Eli, it's frickin' Boston. Forge is playing much better now. They played really good all night, frankly. Playing forward. Forge needs a goal here. Can't see them scoring in Monterrey. Shot blocked away. Shot. Goal! Goal! It's a goal for Brunetta, and Tigres have scored. 1-0. They finally get their goal, Tigres. They finally get their goal. Juan Brunetta scores. Damn it. Is he offside, though? Let's see. I think he is. I think he is. I think he is. Let's see if they check it. Can Forge get a reprieve? I think he's offside. And did it touch a defender? It did touch the elbow of a defender. It touched the elbow of a defender. Let's see how they look at it. 65th minute. Cheap goal. Juan Brunetta scores. Tigres up 1-0 for now. Let's see if they check it. I think he was offside. They're checking for offside. I mean, the ball... Could it be a handball if it's offside? Possible. That should not count IMO. But I would take a penalty. Come on, VAR. Juan Brunetta might be taken, the goal might be taken offside. I think he was. 66th minute. 0-1, 0-1. Al momento. As of now. No goal, offside. Forge gets a stay of execution. Offside. Offside. 0-0, 0-0. I knew it. Yeah, I mean, he looked offside, but that the deflection had me wondering if it would have got called. That was what worried for me. That's what I was worried about, was the deflection, frankly. That deflection off the elbow. Lucky Champs Cup has VAR. Well, I guess they made the right call for once. No, he looked offside. Like the line, he was offside. I don't disagree. It was the fact the ball got deflected off a defender's elbow that made me think, hey, that's what may make this a goal. Because it touched a defender on the way through. Because I think if it touches defender, then by the letter of the law, that could change. It depends. Thought that mattered. Maybe I'm wrong. Thank you. Thought that mattered, but maybe I'm wrong. Either way. Playing forward. Correa. Brunetta, who got his goal taken away. 68th minute. Good play by Forge. Could they keep pushing? Good run. Good run. Plays it forward. In through. Masunda. Out for a goal kick. 68th minute. Brunetta was already in offside position. I agree with that. I don't disagree with that. Masunda can't run anymore. Thoughts on the pass Royal Rumble? I heard people say this was the worst Rumble. I mean, I'm glad Liv Morgan won the Women's Royal Rumble, but that was about the best part of the night. I hated that Sami Zayn lost to Drew. I wish Sami won. I guess they're saving the win in Saudi for WrestleMania next year for Sami, or a world title win in Saudi for Sami next year. I guess, but I was hoping maybe they do it a year early at the Royal Rumble, either way, or win the Rumble itself. Roman Reigns winning the Men's Rumble, I didn't expect it, really. I guess I'm glad he's going for the world title instead of the WWE title, but I'm not mad about it, but I just didn't expect it. And AJ Styles just passing out to Gunther was just... I mean, I knew it was probably coming, but... I'm a big AJ Styles fan, so that left sort of a bad taste in my mouth that they did that. Like, I knew he was about to retire. He said this year, 2026, but – Saudi, of all places? I mean, that's the first part. Second of all, it's like they really just copied the Cena finish, except he passed out instead of tapped. I mean, it wasn't that good of a show, no. Yeah, you ain't going to get 2.5 goals, over 2.5 goals. That ain't happening. Blocked away for a corner. You ain't. Throw in, actually. Yeah, no, you probably lost that bet unless Tigres just goes balls to the wall. Bet you were hoping that freaking Brunetta goal was onside. Throws in, header. Playing forward. Shot over the bar. Nice shot. Well, I mean, he did kick that to his elbow, but either way. Now, well, cleared away. Nice pass. Forge are playing well. Forge are foul. Free kick for Forge. Romatario, he's playing pretty well, all things considered. Definitely looks good. New player. Well, that's true. Either way, 72 minutes. I think they got to bring on somebody from Masunda. I agree. Free kick for Forge. Maybe Tavernier. I would say so. 0-0, settle, 72 minutes. Playing forward, header. 72 minutes. Blocked. Forge. Running forward. Pretty much nowhere to go with that. Try to pressure valve it. Didn't really work. Becker gets it. 73rd minute. Tigres. Didn't Tigres scored? No, they were offside. I mean, they did put the ball at the back of the net, but it was offside, so didn't count. Got pulled, got chopped off, as it should have. 73rd minute. Ball crossed in. Header. Goalie got a little bit off his line and luckily didn't pay for it. That's out for a throw. 74th minute. Noah Jensen coming on. Masunda coming off for Filon. Maxime Filon. And Noah Jensen coming on for Forge. Borges and Masunda are off. That's not exactly where I would have went with it, but they have one more sub left. Probably going to be Tavernier if they do use it. And it's not an injury to Bertode. If it's outside outfielder, it probably would be Tavernier. Probably for Babuli, maybe. Substitutions for Tigres. 74th minute. Good time still. Let's go. Rodriguez and Sanchez coming on for Vigon. and Marcelo Flores. What a failure. Marcelo Flores really should have scored. Rodriguez, knowing that he was playing in his country of choice, let's use that term, country of choice, and he couldn't score on a CPL team. And you wanted to play for Canada. Like, if Forge were going to lose, I wanted Flores to be the reason why they lost. That did not happen. No, I'm reviewing this game, and that's it for today. We'll do both. I'll be live for both games tomorrow. We'll review the Vancouver Cruz Azul game. So, 2 lives tomorrow. Just the review for this game. You know how this works. When it's my team, at least in this case, Forge is my team for this tournament, I'll review their game, live and review their game. I'll be live for both games tomorrow. So, Cruz Azul, Vancouver will be the game I do the review for, but I'm live for both games tomorrow. And just, of course, this is it for today. I mean, I'll keep an eye on the Club America game while I'm doing the review, and also after. I'll watch the 2 other games, just not covering them. But the tags or the scores will go on the bracket tracker and then all that. And we'll talk about that when the round is over. But I have to keep an eye on it so we can talk about it when the round is over. But Forge Tigres is today. That was Chivas. Chivas was the one who drew against Cibao. Crazy to think about. Cibao didn't even make this tournament after all that. Caught. Because Cibao lost the 3rd place game to O&M, remember? San Diego win. Thoughts? I think it's Pumas. I think Pumas get the win. 1-0, 2-1. I'm not sure how San Diego are going to look this year. I don't know if they're going to start hot. I don't know if they're going to have a sophomore slump. They could be just as good. It wouldn't shock me. But also, I got to see where this is going to go, frankly. Playing forward. Forge, cross, shot, blocked, caught by Nahuel. '78th minute. Been a minute since Nahuel had the ball. 78th minute. Playing forward. Offside, there'll be a free kick for Forge. Free kick for Tigres. What? CONMEBOL is prepared to invite clubs from Liga MX and MLS to Libertadores from 2027. The plan includes granting 2 spots per confederation, one by direct invitation and another by sporting merit. So Miami's already qualified. 78th or 80th minute. What's the temperature at the stadium? It's 17 degrees Fahrenheit. At least it was at kickoff. Blocked. Good step. Forge. So, one team by sporting merit from both leagues and one invite. So, Miami's going to the Libertadores. Okay. Can Toronto still earn one by sporting merit? Well, that's if they call the Pirate. Yeah, we know. Yeah, exactly. We know. They ain't going to do that shit with Fraser. Yeah, we know. 81st minute. It's really about to be 0-0. I won't complain. Well, that's what he's getting paid for. Shit, I might too. And I'm not getting paid for it, but ad revenue. I'm going to hop up at 0-0 for Forge. You out of your mind? I'm not even getting paid for it besides ad revenue. Shit. SAR's getting paid for it at least. More than just ad revenue and shorts revenue. Shit. Playing forward. Rezart Rama has the ball. Ball crossed. And nobody there. Second ball. Tigres clears 82 minutes. Like, I thought Forge played solidly. They earned the draw. It's not like they're lucky. It's not like Tigres. I mean, yeah, the Forge keeper saved their own ass. But it's not like Tigres choked. I'd say Forge earned the draw. $82 minutes. Point is, I'd even hype a 0-0 draw for Forge. And by the way, away goals still count, right? I haven't checked the frickin'. If away goals still count, that's a good thing. Now, you could say, but if they couldn't score at home, how are they going to score away? Football? Any given Sunday? If it's 1-1 Forge, guess what? They win the tie. As long as it's 1-1 in Mexico. Now, are they going to score 2 away goals? Hell no. That's impossible. No. 1, they might screw around and get. 2? Right. Away goal is the difference here. Okay, so it still counts. SAR's an Ottawa fan, right? I have no clue. I don't watch enough of his content besides the freaking One Soccer stuff to know. He might be. I freaking don't know. Playing forward. They're still going to pay him to hype the draw, though, so. I like SAR. I really, from what I can see, I like him. But, shit, I don't blame him. I do this shit for ad revenue and super chats. Why? Playing forward. Shit, why would I blame him? 84th minute. Header. Out for a throw-in. 0-0, settle. Playing forward. Oh. The Leafs have played 5 minutes of their game already. Huh. 0-0. Wait, Toronto's out shooting Edmonton? What? They're going to end up winning this damn Edmonton game and not selling it all, aren't they? Great. Playing forward. Playing forward for Forge. Forge. Ball crossed in. Header over the bar. Rezar Rama with a header over the bar out of boots. Forge wants this more than Tigres, apparently. Man, if they could win the game. Out of boots. Header over the bar out of boots. Probably. I say yes. Can't watch it because it's $5 a pop. Well, who thought that was a good idea? 86th minute. Out of boots. Only people who get that reference are people who watch Chiseled Adonis and his NFL game highlight commentary. Game highlight commentary. Playing forward. That's out for a throw. Oh, they took away a shot. The Leafs are still out shooting Edmonton. 86th minute. Throw in for Forge. '87th minute, throw in. Forge cleared. That was a waste of time. Second ball, header. Good steal by Forge. Good pickup. Pulled down, no foul. Chipped over, header. Brought down. Cleared away. 88th minute. Header. Out for a goal kick. Oh, damn. Shedeur Sanders got picked off at the Pro Bowl. Damn. Oof. Goal kick, 88th minute. Tigres is frozen. Too bad Forge didn't take advantage. There's still a couple of minutes. Unless I'm like way behind. The thing that sucks is I have too much hope for next week. The thing that sucks now is Forge gets a 0-0 draw. I know away goals the way they can win. I have way too much hope now. Well, what if they won 1-0? Fair enough, but I think for a 0-0 draw, like knowing that all they have to do is draw 1-1 or 2-2 in Mexico and they advance to the round of 16, way too much hope for my own good. At least they could score a goal and win the first leg, then it makes it a little bit more, hey, you know what? It is what it is. Playing forward, and that's a free kick, 90th minute. That header over the bar, man. Yep. James Harden to the Cavs. Okay. '90th minute. Shot wide. Side netting. That'll be goal kick. 3 minutes of stoppage time. I just want Forge to hold on now at worst. At best, win the game somehow. Three minutes. Goal kick. '91st minute. Nowell kicks it away. Ooh. Playing forward. 91st minute. Oh no. Shot blocked away right to the goalie. Halfway through stoppage time. Headed on. Forge. Plays forward. Headed away. Still with Tigres. Presses. Brought down. Not good enough of a pass. Becker. Right. Jensen. Becker. Shot. Saved by Nowell with a minute to go. And he runs it forward. Might have dropped it a little bit too late, but whatever. 92-14. Man, that would suck. Out for a goal kick. I don't see why it'd be a corner. 92-30. 0-0. Settle. Goal kick. Over the top, brought down. 10 seconds. One last chance. Header. Headed away. Can Forge get it cleared? Free kick. A free kick at the top of the box. Oh no. Off of a handball. The ball hits the elbow of Becker. Kicked into it by Correa. Any free kick. Free kick for Tigres. A last second free kick for Tigres at the edge of the box. Can Forge survive it? It's 0-0. Settle. They have to take this free kick. Brunetta. Can he actually get his goal? One kick to go. Brunetta. For the win on the first leg. Tigres. Free kick. And Nowell Shithausen. Goredan and Brunetta standing over it. Forge just lined everybody up there. Shot, blocked off the wall. Caught, punched. Why the hell are you punching it? And it's full time. Forge survives with a draw. Forge survives with a draw. 0-0, 0-0. And Tigres are pissed off. 0-0 esta noche. Miro tiempo de la serie. 0-0. Tigres always cries. Ha ha ha. Wow. What a ridiculous hand. What was he thinking? We'll take it. Forge draws. We'll take it. We'll take it. Man of the match is Berthold. Yep. I agree. Thought Mom says Berthold's man of the match. Yeah, I agree with that one. 0-0 for Forge. With that being said, if you like this stream, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send stats on live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you within the hour for the review of this match. And then we have Olympia versus America next. Well, they're playing next, but I'm reviewing this game as we go. But Forge gets the draw. Damn well know I'm going to hype it up. With that being said, I will see you within the hour. And then tomorrow, of course, will be live for both matches. Xelajú, Monterrey, and Vancouver FC versus Cruz Azul. And then we'll review Vancouver, Cruz Azul tomorrow. And then Thursday, Friday are off. Saturday, Super Bowl predictions. Sunday, Super Bowl review. So we'll take it. But I'll see you within the hour. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. We'll take it. We'll take it.